Let's get right to it with our pal, Adam Schefter. Good morning, Adam. How you doing today?
Hello there, Jen. How you doing? I'm in the new 𝘃𝘃𝑚 studios for the first time. We're trying to get everything figured out, like where the bathrooms are, where the Starbucks are, how to get on Wi-Fi. It's a whole big onboarding process here.
Well, those are the three most
the Starbucks is the most important of those three, right?
bathroom, Starbucks, and Wi-Fi. I mean, it's a triple crown.
What else you need in life, right?
Although the Starbucks does contribute to the need of the bathroom and all of that, it's like
the
a
circle
chicken,
of life.
the chicken and the egg thing. Let's get right to the Jaire Alexander situation. He is no longer a member of the Green Bay Packers. What is the market for him now? Do you see him landing with another team anytime soon?
Look, I think that when you're a player, you don't agree to refuse to restructure your deal unless you have an idea of what your market is and whether you think you can get fair value. Now, I don't know that he thinks he's going to get the money that he would have made in Green Bay, but at the very least, I think he feels like he's going to put himself in a spot where he'll be utilized well, where he'll be on a 1 year deal, and where he'll have the opportunity to hit the free agent market again after the 25 season in the 26 free agent class and have the ability then to really cash in. So if I'm Jaire Alexander today, what I'm thinking is I want to go put myself in a great defense with a great organization. I really don't know what team that is, but Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Detroit. Again, I'm throwing teams out there. You're not going today to Tennessee, I don't think. You're not going to one of these AFC South teams. You're going to go to a perennial contender with a strong defense that will have the ability to showcase your talents, and then you hopefully have a great year and parlay that into a big deal in the free agent market in 26.
Well, what do you think that number will be, Adam? The 1 year deal?
I don't think it'll be as high as people think.
Really?
I think that, yeah, I think it'll be, I mean, I think there'll be some incentives in there. A lot of teams don't have a lot of money at this time of the year. You wait to June 11th. A lot of teams have allocated their cap space in dollars, so you reduce the field right there. And I think he's going to be selective in picking in the team he chooses. I do.
What do you think is going to be more important, the competition or the money?
A combination of the both, to be honest with you. I think the money will probably be pretty similar, and I think the deciding factor will be an organization that gives him a chance to shine this upcoming season.
Adam Schefter hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. So it sounds like Brian Gutekunst feels very confident in the cornerbacks who remain. I am less confident, but we shall see, right? We got a lot of time for them to get up to par, get up to the production level that we need them to do. What else is moving around the league? We saw the Terry McLaurin news. We saw the TJ Watt news. We obviously have been paying close attention to what's going on with the Bengals. Do you see Trey Hendrickson getting moved yet? I know this is my pipe dream, and the guys have told me to let it go, but I just can't quit him yet.
Well, I don't see him getting moved. And again, we're talking about teams not having the money for Jaire Alexander, who will be a pittance compared to what it would be for Trey Hendrickson in an exploding pass rush market. We've seen huge deals given out this offseason for Max Crosby, Danielle Hunter, Myles Garrett. And you're going to see at some point Trey Hendrickson get another deal. Could there be a team that trades for him at some point? Sure, that always exists. I just think it's a hard deal to pull off where you have to compensate the Bengals and you have to compensate the player. Not a simple thing to do. Not that it can't be done, it can. Khalil Mack, I believe, was traded in September after he sent a strong message where he didn't show up all summer. Now, if Trey Hendrickson, who has said that I'm not going to be playing on this current deal, if he refuses to show up all summer and goes hardline on them, could he force a trade? Absolutely. That could happen. But I think that there have to be steps that have to be taken before we could look at a trade being viable.
Adam, this might be, well, it is premature, but how frustrated are owners with these players holding out with 2 years, like Elgton Jenkins, 2 years left on his contract? Jen just mentioned Watt and Hendrickson and McLaurin. Are they going to try to address this in the next CBA where these players can't do that? I would think they'd be frustrated by it.
Chewy, they did address it in the CBA.
Yeah, but they
did do
screwed it
that.
up, though, didn't they?
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson, Terry McLaurin, veterans who don't show up to mandatory minicamp are fined $17,462 the first day they miss, $34,925 the second day they miss, $52,381 the third day they miss. So to miss the 3 days of work for any of these veterans is $104,768. So basically $105,000. Now here's the issue. The money has gotten so great that if you're Trey Hendrickson, you're Terry McLaurin, you're TJ Watt, and you're talking about making upwards of $30 million a year. What is $105,000 in fines? That's why James Cook was there yesterday, because he hasn't made any money yet. He can't afford to just throw away $105,000. And that's why the CBA is set up the way it is, Chewy. Because a guy on a...
There's always a loophole where I can go in, I'm not happy with my contract, and go, oh, my hamstring's tight. You play the injury
Of course,
card,
my
which they
back.
do, and
My
that gets
back
them-
is...
Yeah, that gets them out of it.
Right. And look, we've seen that through time. And if I were a player, maybe that's the tactic I would use. But my point is that the money has become so great that the fine schedule hasn't kept up with the rise in wages. Right? The CBA was done 5 years ago, and players, the top pass rusher 5 years ago, if we looked at it, was probably making $10 million. Okay? So $105,000 at $10 million, it doesn't sound like very much, but I'm just telling you, $105,000 is still $105,000. Now, $105,000 on $30 million, you're laughing. You're laughing. I'm going to go send my message. I'd rather send my message and absorb the 105. I can do that.
Yeah.
Schefter, we're tight on time. It's the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Who you got?
Goddamn, I'm really struggling here. And Chewy, and Gabe, I gotta tell you something. Gabe, I gotta tell you something. I so badly want to ask you your opinion, but I don't want to ask you. So I'm not even like.
I lead you astray one time. That was months ago.
Okay,
Adam.
who do you believe? Who do you believe in? Right, I can tell you right now.
Scheffler.
We used Scheffler last week or 2 weeks ago at the Memorial, and that was a winner. So we are set up now in the second half. The four guys we're debating right now: Xander, Straka, Rahm, and Neiman. Those are our four choices. We're going to pick one of those.
I would lean towards Rahm because I was thinking about taking Rahm myself. And I mean, Xander's got a really good U.S. Open record as well.
Yeah.
If I got to dig into the numbers to see if he's been trending closer to the player he was last year, but I think Xander's kind of sneaky and flying under a lot of people's radar as well.
Dean Lowry.
Shane Lowry.
Oh, yeah. He was the football
I like him too.
By
By the way, Shane Lowry was the 54-hole
Yes, he
leader at
was.
Oakmont in 2016.
I still got it.
Jen knew that. Right,
You
Jen?
got half of it. You got the last name, and you botched the first name.
I know, but we discussed this in the first segment.
Yeah, he's got 75% of the info.
That was 50%, guys. Stay with me.
Adam's got to go.
He
Bye,
does
Adam.
have to go. Adam, thanks for hanging with us. Have a great
Guys,
week.
have a
We'll talk
great
to you
day.
again soon.